So, if for those of you who failed geometry class or just forgot or don't know, but Haiti is a island, is a part of an island that
Yeah.
is in the Caribbean Ocean, right off the coast, or right next to America and South America. If
Yeah.
you go over, there are the islands
Yep.
of the Caribbean.
Yep.
And you have the Greater Antilles Islands, which would be like Jamaica, Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, like all of that is like the Greater Antilles. And then you have the Lesser Antilles, which would be those smaller islands like the Virgin Islands. I think
US Virgin
Trinidad
Islands.
is down there, St. Lucian, like all those islands would be the Lesser Antilles. Haiti is a part of the Greater Antilles. It's a big island, and it shares the western third of the island with Dominican Republic.
Right.
So the western third of the island is Haiti. The eastern 2/3 of the island is the Dominican Republic. And I'll probably put like a map or something up in post or whatever. But so that whole island was actually landed on by Christopher Columbus. And he named it Hispaniola. So the whole island is called Hispaniola.
Yeah.
At least that's what Christopher Columbus called it.
Yeah.
But as we know, like, he never discovered anything. He just got to where other people already were. So by the time he got to Haiti, he actually shipwrecked on Haiti.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he shipwrecked, and so like if on the whole island, he was actually on the Haitian side. Like, he wasn't on the Dominican side. He was on the Haitian side.
Okay.
I think where they call it Mont Saint Nicolas is the city or the town.
That makes sense.
Which is right on the coast, like the northwest coast. He crash landed or shipwrecked right there, and this was in like 1492.
Yeah.
And the first ever European settlement was actually built in Haiti, right there on Saint Nicolas. And it was called so after he shipwrecked, he found the people that were there, which we call them the Taino Natives, which I think they were also called the Arawak Natives that were already on the island. And they pretty much helped Christopher Columbus and his people get to shore safely because they're beautiful, nice people.
Yeah.
And they took the remnants of the ship, which I forgot what the ship was called. Not that important. They took the remnants of the ship and built a fort there called Fort La Navidad because it was Christmas. I think it was like the day before Christmas that they set up, that they named the fort and finished the fort, and they had Christmas dinner with the Arawak people. And they called it Fort La Navidad or whatever. And
did the Arawak people celebrate Christmas?
I don't think they cared. They was just like,
it's like food.
they was like, oh, that's what y'all do? Cool, we'll join y'all. You know what I mean? Like, that seems fun. We'll get to learn about your culture.
Yeah.
You can learn about our culture. We'll exchange. Because the Taino people were actually like really nice people. A nice group of people. They weren't like a warring nation. Like, they did have enemies or whatnot, but most of the time they weren't fighting.
Okay.
So Christopher Columbus in 1492 sets that up, and then he sees that the Arawak people have like gold jewelry on and stuff like that. And don't say stuff like I'm trying to work on like speaking better.
I'm working on it too.
Try not to say like and you know what I mean and stuff like that all the time. But anyways, so Christopher Columbus saw they had gold and other resources and was like, oh, I need to get some of that and bring it back to Spain, because you know, Spain was the one who sent him on the journey.
Yeah.
Which I actually think he is Italian. Christopher Columbus was Italian, I think.
Oh, wow.
But he wanted to go on adventures, and Spain was the one who, you know,
funded it for him.
Yeah, exactly. So
Wow.
he did it in the name of Spain.
Wow.
So he needed to go back to Spain in order to get more resources and people, and come back to try to get all the gold and resources and things that he, you know, was there to get for Spain.
Yeah.
So he leaves like 30 people on, I think it was 30 people on the island at Fort La Navidad, and was like, I'm about to be out. I'm going to come back in a year with more people or whatever. Y'all just hold it down. And those Spanish conquistadors, I think, not I think, they were called conquistadors. Those Spanish were...
The people that were on the boat with him?
Yeah, the ones that he left.
Yeah.
They were kind of being rude and unruly to the you
Tinos.
know, yeah, so like trying to sleep with their woman, like just trying to take stuff, and like not really being good guests at their home.
Yeah.
And they
Sounds
were terrorizing the people pretty much.
Sounds very Thanksgiving like.
But it's Christmas this time.
Oh, wow.
And so
holiday cheer.
Which that whole story about the pilgrims coming to America and setting out, that's not true either.
Oh, wow.
So, but another story for another time.
Right.
So, he comes there, or they're terrorizing the Arawak people. So, of course, like anybody, if you come into my crib and start fucking with me, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
So they killed all the Spanish people, because they were they were literally terrorizing, like killing the Tainos, trying to sleep with their women, taking their food, like trying to force them into like labor and all this stuff.
Wow.
And they wasn't having it, so they killed them and burnt down the fort. But they knew
that they were coming back,
that Christopher Columbus was coming back.
Oh wow.
So I think they were trying to figure out, like, okay, so how do we, like, what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, which also, by the way, I don't know if I should, like, this should be common sense, but there was no like split in the island. It was all one island to the natives. You know what I mean? Like to the Arawak people, it was all one island. It was all their island, and it was 5 kingdoms that were on that island. And the Arawaks had what I guess we could call chiefs, but they called them caciques. That was the name of the leaders, and there were 5 of them. And when Christopher Columbus got there, there were 4 male caciques and 1 woman cacique. And her name was Anacaona. And in their tradition, they believed that there had to be balance. So there had to at least be one of the opposite sex that was a cacique. So there was 4 males and 1 woman. But it could have been anything. Like if there were 4 women, there had to be one man. If there was 3 women, 2 men. Like they just didn't want it all to be one thing. So there was actually a woman cacique called Anacaona, and she was one of their leaders. And when Christopher Columbus got back, of course, he saw his people dead. They were trying to explain to them, like, nah, like they was, being rude. They weren't listening. They weren't cooperating with us. And they attacked us, so we had to attack them back. But Christopher Columbus and them already came there with the intentions of taking their stuff anyways. So he was just like, oh well, looks like we gotta kill you. You know what I mean? And started forcing them into labor because he was looking for gold. They did have some sugar plantations and stuff, but not much, because they were mainly just trying to find gold and stuff. So
it was like pretty much Chris was like, I left them there to terrorize you guys.
Exactly.
I don't
You weren't
understand the
supposed to
problem
kill
here.
him. You were supposed to let him be.
Right.
So, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but I just feel like no one really talks about the people that were there before.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the other thing to note is that the island was actually called Haiti.
Wow.
The native name, the Arawak name for the entire island was Haiti.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
the AY, I think they spelled it like AYTI.
Yeah.
And it just, for in their language, meant the island of mountains or the land of mountains,
Wow.
because it's an island
With a
with a lot of mountains.
Yeah.
I think they also had a couple of other names for that island,
Yeah.
which was man, what was the oh no. Hold on a second. I'm gonna just hold it like this. I think one of the names was, oh yeah, Quisqueya.
Okay.
Quisqueya was another name they had for the island. Hold on a second.
Quisqueya.
Mm-hmm. That sounds dope, right?
Yeah, that does. Quisqueya.
Yeah.
Sound like you're asking somebody a question in Creole.
Right. I'm gonna just hold it now because I think I fucked it up.
Oh no.
But yeah. So Quisqueya is another name they had, and I think that meant mother of islands or something like that.
Okay.
And just another notable things that we got from the Tainos, hammocks.
Wow.
They actually slept in hammocks.
Wow.
So that's something that we got from them.
Okay.
Barbecue.
Wow.
Barbecue is actually a Taino or Arawak
Now
term.
that is important right there. That
That's
you
what I'm
just said
saying.
that like we gotta sit on that for a second.
Barbecue, bro.
Haitians started. Listen, and the original Haitians, not even just Haitians,
the
original
The
Haitians
original Haitians
gave the world barbecuing, bro.
barbecue, bro.
That's where we commune as a people. You know what I'm saying? At least over here,
Everybody loves a good barbecue.
everybody
bro.
loves a good barbecue.
Come on, dog.
Like
But
racism dies at a barbecue. As
you're
long as you're invited.
goddamn right. Like, that nigga know how to fry up a good grill.
Goddamn good chicken, goddamn.
I
Like,
know
listen.
that, right. As long as you keep cooking like that, you can keep on coming over. I don't
Keep-
care if you're a
keep-
nigger or
Look,
not.
right. You're my nigger.
Right. Like, please don't say that. But
the one thing about racist white folk, bro, like a good racist white person, bro,
a good racist
they can
man.
cook some good ass fried chicken.
Do they?
They cook some good ass fried chicken, bro.
You know what?
You gotta find them deep down in the South and racist as hell.
I usually don't trust white people's chicken, so
Yeah,
I'd
but
never
were they
given them-
were they like Southern racist though?
I don't know, dog. Like
Because
I'm just always leery. I not to say that I will never, but I've eaten white people's food before, and
Yeah.
some have been good. But it's just most of the times I'll be like,
because there's a difference between like in the city and in the city you can't eat no, you know what I'm saying. I don't even know if they know what a fryer is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We
But
not
I've
gonna be
definitely
right.
had some. I've had some country white folks food
Listen,
before that have
amazing.
been pretty good, you know. But mostly, I try to stick with the the ethnic side of
The ethnic
things.
side of things.
Yeah, not just because not just American blacks. Like as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, my favorite all-time food is Caribbean food. Just
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what
Yep.
country,
Yep.
which island. Caribbean food, from Puerto Rican to
Mhm.
Cuban to Dominican, Haitian, Jamaican, Bahamian,
Mm-hmm.
Trinidadian,
It's a specific swag. You know what I'm saying?
all them.
Yeah.
It tastes so good. I
Yeah.
love. And the fucked up thing is, I saw this list. I shared it on my Instagram page.
Yeah.
And it was like the top 50 best foods in the world.
Mm.
And Caribbean, not one Caribbean country made it on the top 50. Not
Who made the
one.
list? Who made the list?
Exactly. Who made the list? The same people whose fried chicken you probably tried.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
Ah,
that was blasphemy, utter blasphemy,
utter
because
blasphemy.
Caribbean food has got to be some of the best food in the entire world.
And if you have not tried it,
Please.
find you a Haitian January
Yes.
1st.
And okay, yeah.
Because that's important.
And get you one of your first meal should be a soup jumu,
Soup jumu.
because
Mhm.
that is the soup that we eat
Every year.
every January 1st to celebrate Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get to why we do that in a moment.
Ooh.
So, yeah, just, I just wanted to, talk about a couple of the things that the Tainos or the Arawaks,
Yeah.
did, or how they lived, and, a little bit about their culture. They did believe in, like, they did have certain gods or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
deities.
Yeah.
Don't say or whatever. They had deities, and they called them Zumis. And there is, even in Haiti, some engravings still that you can find
Wow.
of their sculptures and,
Oh, wow.
and stuff in stone and in, like, by rivers,
Yeah.
and all different types of work. Their imprint is still there
Yeah.
in Haiti and Dominican Republic.
Wow.
I think there might even be like one of the kingdoms was called Igwe, and I even think in the Dominican side they have a place called Igwe.
Oh, wow.
And Quisqueya.
Oh, wow.
So they some of their imprint is still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there.
That's dope.
So anywho, Christopher Columbus, he gets there. He does what he did, and then he moves on. And the conquistadors, they all move on to, like, South America. But they still have a hold of Hispaniola, which is the entire island,
Yeah.
as a colony. And years go by, and a lot of the Tainos are, forced into labor, and they're pretty much getting wiped out, by disease, by overworking, and pretty much years and years of that. And there was a Catholic priest. I think his name was, I think I typed it. Let me just not go off of my puny human brain. But Bartholomew de las Casas was a priest who went there, and he arrived there and saw all that, like, the Tainos were getting fucked up, pretty much, and dying off. He was actually the one who suggested that they start using Africans for their labor.
Wow.
Because he said that the Tainos couldn't handle it.
Wow.
Like, a lot of them are dying off, and we need to go to Africa and get Africans.
Wow.
And bring them over here to work.
Wow.
So in the early 1500s, yeah, I'm not good with dates, so I don't remember exactly what, but I'll just say the early 1500s.
Yeah.
They started going to Africa and taking the slaves. But the way that they did it was they would take slaves from Africa and then bring them to Iberia, the Iberian Peninsula, which is where Spain and Portugal, those countries are.
Yeah.
That's called the Iberian Peninsula. So they would take them there because they had to Catholicize them. They had to Christianize. They didn't want to bring Africans over that were Muslim, or that were, had any of their African traditions.
Right.
So they would bring them over there. They would, like, baptize them, or, like you said, condition them, Catholicize them, if that's a word, Christianize
Makes
them.
sense. Yeah.
And then send them back to, or send them over to the, Americas, wherever they were going.
Yeah.
So after a while, one of the kings or princes, I forget, but they were, I think they're the grandkids of what's the guy's name? Is it King Ferdinand and Princess and Queen? Who cares? Two,
Yeah.
monarch white people that
Yeah.
started, enslaving people.
Yeah.
I forget their names, which is why, I should have prefaced this, but I'm not a historian, clearly, guys. So, verify everything I'm saying.
Right. That's the important part.
Yeah.
But nah, you still got it, man. You got
and
historian in you.
do a deeper dive, because I be forgetting names and dates. So, but anywho, the guy said, that's too much work, and we're spending too much money to capture them, bring them here, then send them over.
Right.
So just send them over. So, which lets you know that the people that they were sending over, a lot of them started keeping their traditions. Some would be Muslim, some would be other African traditional cultures, and some would be Christian. And they were sending all of those people over to the island of Hispaniola and all throughout the Caribbean. And so what starts happening is, around the late 1500s into the 1600s,